Bonafide hustler here.
College picker here.
RAIKEN profit.
And we have Mr. Chris Green.
Chris Green, ScanPower, arbitrage guy. Here.
All right, so he's here. Welcome to the Green Room Hangout number 29. We're excited to have this hangout because not only is it going to be chocked full of information for you guys to learn, and gals, but we have a really important guest today that we can ask questions to and bounce ideas off of, and you might get even a future look at what reselling could look like on FBA from the guest that we have in the room. But anyway, I'm the Bonafide hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I resell things that I find anywhere. It could be a thrift store, pawn shop, flea market, swap meet, anything, anywhere. I buy it, sell it for more on various different avenues. And I have a book also called Flip That Shh. We won't say that last word, but it's not technically a bad word because of this one little thing right there. That makes it not a bad word. But anyway, that's my book on Amazon, on Amazon, on Smashwords.com. Really cool book. Also, I want to introduce my team, which is RAIKEN Profit. Go ahead. Who are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Steve with RAIKEN Profit on YouTube. I'm from Connecticut, and not too happy to be in Connecticut right now because it's starting to get cold. How's the weather over there in Austin, Chris?
We had 92.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But I've been selling for coming up on 2 years now, thanks to guys like College Picker, Chris Green, of course, Bonafide. I learned from a lot of folks like on YouTube and online, and I sell a lot of clothes on eBay. I've messed around with Amazon FBA, and it's what I do full time now. I love every second of it, and I love learning, and I'm excited for tonight's show because Chris, I met Chris Green 4 or 5 months ago, and awesome guy. Learned a lot. Even bought his book, which if you're looking to get started on Amazon, a freaking amazing tool, no lie. And yeah, I'm pumped up. Who's next on deck?
We got College Picker with some fake Beats by Dre headphones.
These are not Beats by Dre. These are
I'm just kidding, man.
And my name is Eric. I'm a College Picker from Florida. I'm more notably known for my cross-country trip where I traveled like 15 states and like 20,000 miles and was picking out of my little Scion XA. And had a blast doing that. That's when I first met Chris. I drove to his house and he let me crash on the couch. He had security cameras in his house just to make sure I didn't take anything. But it was a blast, and I kind of, I don't know, like sparked a whole freaking movement of craziness from one. He invited me once to go mountain biking, and it sparked a movement, possibly. So I've been reselling for about 7 or 8 years now. Done it throughout school. I encourage anyone that is pursuing an education, either traditionally or non-traditionally, to do this because it can expand your mind in business. It can expand your mind through just what goods cost and thriftiness of yourself to improve your life and just kind of frugality.
Hold on. I got a secondary feed. I don't know how. Okay, sorry. Did you guys hear that secondary?
Yes.
Weird. Okay. So we also have Mr. Chris Green. Now, Mr. Chris Green, why don't you introduce yourself? Say it again. What'd you say, RAIKEN?
Chris Green.
That's what I said.
I'm just letting everybody know.
Okay. Introduce yourself, man. Who are you? How might someone know about you, and how can someone get connected with you?
Oh, hey, good to be here, guys. Appreciate the invite for the show. Chris Green from ScanPower fame, from arbitrage fame, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. Been selling online since the 90s, barely, 1999. I started selling online. Did the eBay thing, did the Amazon thing. We made our own app to scan barcodes, made for me, and then we started letting other people use it. Started writing books. We've got Facebook groups and Spreecasts and all this stuff. And I tell you, it's so much fun to just be part of the community and jam with other people. I mean, hearing about you guys, crashing on couches, and it's kind of weird. I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Texas, spent a lot of time in Austin, and Steve, we're up here in the Northeast. We had kind of a gloomy day today, so it's like, I know what you guys are all going through with that weather stuff, and I just love being out there. I love helping people. I definitely try to take a Gary V kind of Zig Ziglar approach to, hey, to get what I want, I'm gonna help you get what you want. And we just kind of all build each other up at the same time. And it's just such a fun business to be in right now because we've got phones, we've got apps, we've got the eBay app. I mean, if you're a picker right now, if you're a reseller, this is a very exciting time to be alive because you can go anywhere and you got the research at your fingertips and you can find some amazing stuff and you can do a full-time job, make a full-time living doing what you love. And now you guys are writing books. I'm thrilled you guys are writing books. You guys got to get on CreateSpace though. But yeah, you guys are able to help so many people at the same time and have fun and make money. It's an amazing time to be in this business.
So that is who you are, man. That. If you guys don't know now who this guy is, you definitely have to know by now. That's one hell of an intro, man. So yeah, you can see the passion eking from this guy about reselling in general, and that's something we talked about behind the scenes, Chris. Right? That you're not all just about scanning and everything. You're about hustling in general, right?
Yeah, believe it or not, Facebook.com/hustle. That's me. You want to go to Facebook.com/hustle. There's only one person you're going to find, and it almost I feel bad like it should be the Bonafide hustler. You know. Yeah.
How much do you want for that thing, dude? By the way.
Maybe we'll talk after the show. We'll talk after the show.
Right. If it's higher than $24.99, I might have to say no.
I'm sure maybe we'll work something out. But I mean,
cool.
I'm all about the hustle. I mean, the first book I wrote, the one Steve has, you know, in the beginning it talks about, you know, I was hustling baseball cards and I was going to baseball card shows and finding a card cheap at one table and selling it to a dealer at the other table before I even bought it. You know, I was buying stuff from garage sales.
You're wholesaling baseball cards.
Yeah, I did the baseball cards things. I did jewelry from garage sales because my aunt sold really high-end stuff, like very expensive stuff. And I saw these necklaces, and I was like, these are worth more than 99 cents. They were all bagged. I bought them all. I brought them to her place, and she sold them in her show, and she kept like half of it. I mean, she taught me a little bit of a lesson, like, no, I did some work. You don't get all the profit on that. You're the middleman, and I'm the middleman on that. And I've just always been fascinated with, I can buy something cheap and get it over here. And, you know, we're in the world of you can scan it, you can pick it, you can do your research, you can Craigslist. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you get it. I don't care where you sell it. I don't care how you do your research. I don't care what you know and what you're learning. It doesn't matter. It's kind of all the same thing, and it's all so related that you might as well learn a new thing. If you're a thrift store picker and you're really good at you know, T-shirts, right? Well, why not learn blazers? Why not learn women's dresses? Why not learn the things that no one else is learning? Because there's going to be less competition there, and there's no shortage of things to learn. You can keep doing new things, and that's what keeps you kind of excited, keeps you fresh. And I mean, the fact that we can make money doing this, full-time money, I mean, I almost feel bad about it. You know, well, not really.
Shouldn't feel bad about it. It's just a market, man. It's simple, you know, supply-demand metrics coming into play. And people are getting pretty smart about it. I mean, where there once was brick-and-mortar stores so prevalent across the USA, now you have people, well, I guess Amazon, really building a team of public, which is us, which will probably end up putting out the brick-and-mortar trade pretty, I would say, within our life. I think within our lifetime we're going to see a significant decrease in brick-and-mortar. I've already seen it already.
I mean, Circuit City's gone.
Yeah, I mean, Circuit City's gone. That could be, you can say that's Amazon related. You could say that's eBay related. But I mean, brick and mortar takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of overhead to run those places, you know, and it takes almost no overhead to have someone from the general public find an item, throw it on Amazon. It's a cheaper price than any of these places, and I mean, everyone is happy. So you give the person the ability to make some money while basically undercutting the competition completely, which is nuts. Chris, let me ask you this question. Did you ever see anything like that unfolding when you first built your scanner barcode thing that you were talking about earlier?
When ScanPower first came out, it was called FBA Scout, and Amazon trademarked FBA, so we had to change the name of everything. But when it first came out, I had several people say to me, dude, you should just keep this for yourself and just go out and rake in all this cash, not steal your RAIKEN profit, rake it in. It's like, and people don't stop and think of the scale. I'm one guy. I can go to so many stores. I lived in Dallas, Fort Worth. I could have gone to any number of stores from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed and never go to all the stores. There are 4,400 Walmarts in the U.S. There are over 2,500 Home Depots in the U.S. If you do the numbers, if you want to go to each one of them once in the year, right? It's physically impossible to do it. So to think that I got to keep this to myself because, oh my goodness, something's going to you're going to ruin the market or it's going to become saturated. that will happen, but it's like when, I use a Gary Vee story where he dropped the prices on all his wine when everybody got smartphones, so he thought everybody was going to price shop them in his stores, and that never happened. People go to the store to buy wine, not to, say, oh, it's $1.13 cheaper over here, Gary, I want my discount. It didn't happen. He thought it would, but it didn't happen. But what you said earlier, it's going to happen in our lifetime. That's what we're going to see. We're going to see the shift from retail going from brick and mortar to online or to drone delivery or same-day delivery, where we stay at home and there's just I mean, Walmart really could do this. They're just not organized enough. So I know at my house what's available at my Walmart 6 miles down the road, and Walmart's not organized enough to get that to me with a little driver, the way Amazon can. But it's going to be a generational shift. I mean, online retail is it's between about 11 and 14% of total retail, which when you think about it, that's awfully small, smaller than most people think. So almost 90% of all retail is still done at the brick and mortar stores, but it's going to be a generational shift. Yes, in our lifetimes, we're all young guys, it's going to happen. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen so slowly that we'll all be able to watch. So when we watch the graphs go up and say, this is where I want to be because I see it growing, and this is where this graph's going down, this is where I don't want to be because it's declining, everybody should be able to make that shift and capitalize on those shifts coming. We can all get to where we want to be. There's no secret of what's happening, but it's definitely unique to all of human history, what we're going through right now. So people need to pay attention and not just sit and be like, okay, 2015 is going to be like 2014, 2016. No, it's not. Stuff has changed. Look back 4 years. Look back 8 years. In 2007, there were no iPhones, right? And now, I mean, my kids are 7 and 5. They can't imagine a world without an iPad. They're like, well, what you used to do, Daddy? I had to explain to them live TV. They're like, skip it, Daddy. I'm like, no, it's live. They're like, what's live? We're living through this, and people just need to pay attention, because if you pay attention to where things are going, you can get there before everybody else.
Yeah, and let me echo on one of your points right there. The fact that the information and digital revolution has progressed so quickly in our lifetimes already also means that traditional forms of employment are getting a bit on the extinct side, right? The people that work 20 or 30 years at a corporate job, that's kind of something I like to think as not available anymore. And that's one of those things too. We live in this digital revolution, I want to say, that where we can also create anything that we want to create on the cheap, right? So when you created your company, I mean, this didn't cost you 20 grand out the door or anything like that. You were starting this with probably friends, my guess, okay? But you started this small. It was a small operation, and then you grew it slowly, but the ways of marketing, it wasn't an enormous amount of marketing, was it? It grew by itself, right?
It did. We were fortunate. We were in the right place at the right time, and it's one of those things. And everybody has like several of these during their lifetime, like just that moment you're like, oh, I see it, I got it. I had been buying. I was a Prime buyer, buying from Amazon to sell on eBay before anybody knew what Prime was. We're talking 7, 8 years ago. So I understood the power of Prime. Then FBA came out, and I was like, you're kidding. You're going to put my products available for Prime shipping? That's an unfair advantage. The fees are going to be astronomical. Look at the fee structure. I actually make more using FBA. I was like, I'm all in. This is ridiculous. You can have all this stuff. Then after I needed the original FBA power just for me to print the labels individually, I found a programmer. We teamed up. I remember that label coming out of the Dymo, the very first one. Zzz, I was like, this is big. This is game changing. And my co-founder, Paul, at the time, we weren't business partners. He was just a guy I hired to write the program. I'm like, dude, we have got to make this software as a service. We have to let other people use this. We'll charge them by the month. And even I didn't want to charge at the beginning. I was like, we'll let everybody use it for free, and we'll get 1 million users. He's like, no, man, we got to charge for this. Okay, this is work. But we basically worked for free for about 2 years, marketing it, and we built up our presence by going into forums, answering questions, being helpful, not spamming, not self-promoting, just going and being helpful in forums. And this is a time where FBA wasn't big, so we stood out, right? We were the first FBA-centric company. We were the first to have iPhone and Android apps. We were the first to do FBA pricing. We were the first to do net payout. We were the first to do images on a scanning app. Before that, it was all Windows Mobile. So we put in the sweat equity, but this is what everybody should really get excited about. Those 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. hours, which, to our parents' generation was dead time. You could go work third shift, But our third shift, we can do anything we want. We can go on Facebook. We can network. We can contact people in India to write programs for us. We can read books. We can take Udemy classes, watch YouTube videos. 10 to 2 is just as useful as 9 to 5 to us. So if you want it, put in the work, do that sweat equity, put in the time, and sometimes it's going to fail, but you know what? You fail, you start over, and you try something new. And you just put that in, and that's how we built it up. I'm not gonna lie, we were lucky. We were in the right place at the right time, but we went all in because we believed in it. But that's the whole secret. But before I get back to you, you start off, like the opportunities that we have. I read a quote from Mark Zuckerberg today, and he said, "The advice that I give all my friends going into college, or his friends, their kids going into college or entering high school, is learn to program." That's from Mark Zuckerberg, 30 years old, multi-billionaire, and he's saying, look, I know you like going to college. I know that's kind of this thing. Even high school, learn to program.
I've actually been kind of frustrated with how our school systems don't teach programming at a younger age, at least in Florida. It was a little bit of HTML, but that was about it. It stopped, and there was nothing I could take in high school, and I would have completely taken a different career path if they would have offered it in high school.
Dude, I think I'm the old man here, right? I'm 36, right? I was taking MS-DOS in high school, and when I was in 95, 96, even then, MS-DOS was pathetic. I knew then, why are you teaching me this? This is not useful information. Windows 95 was already out. Why am I going to learn DOS? And I was a trouble student because I was like, you're going to tell me 10% of my grade is based on this project you want me to spend 2 months on? Guess what? I'm not going to do it. Give me the 0. All right, because I'm not going to spend 2 months working on 10% of my grade. Okay, that doesn't make sense because I can run a DOS formula that tells me that's a bad choice. Okay, learn programming. Everybody should be so thrilled for their kids right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of Udemy and Skillshare and Coursera, and just YouTube videos. Just search YouTube for how to code. There are programs teaching kids how to code.
The Khan Academy is a great
Khan
resource.
Academy is another good one.
Khan Academy is great. Code Academy is a good one too for teaching. I've actually done some stuff on Code Academy where they make it into games and stuff. It's really good.
There's a bunch of them. And to bring it all back to what we're talking about, if you've got a need, if you've got you say, I need an app that's going to monitor this web page for a price drop because I know this item is going to be hot for Christmas and I'm a Q4 over retail toy buyer. Then go to Odesk, go to Elance, and hire someone to either do it for you or learn how to do it yourself. But I hate to say don't go to college. I got kids, 5 and 7, and my wife and I have had this conversation. I'm like, you know what? If they say they don't want to go to college because they want to stone cold hustle, that's going to be their choice. I'm not going to push my kids to college because what are they going to do? Get a bunch of debt and learn to be an employee? This is the time. If you have 1% of an entrepreneurial spirit, this is the time to execute and take action because so what? What if you fail? Who cares? What, you lose 8 hours of sleep in your life? You get over it. This is the time to take chances. I don't know. This is your guys' show, man. I'm going to end up talking too much and get hyped up, but.
No, we like that. We appreciate that.
No, this is good.
Passion's good, man.
Over here.
We echo a lot of the same exact things. It's one of the reasons why we created the Green Room in the first place. We saw a big need for it. We also saw, and that might be a challenge statement by people out there in YouTube land. Don't get me wrong. We've had plenty of, I'm not going to call it like a hater kind of thing, but we've had a lot of challenges to, some of the things that we've gone through. And I got to tell you right now, we're still going to keep going, and that's just the way it is. Maybe echo a little bit on that. Like when your company started up, did you have any resistance? And if so, where did you notice it coming from? Was it family? Was it friends? Was it the general people in your room? And I know you're starting to laugh, so there's something here that I'm getting at. But go ahead and tell me.
There's a couple things, man, and I'm laughing because my poor father-in-law, who there's no way he's watching the show, but if he was, it was okay. We do pretty well. Our company's growing. I just launched a $200 book, and it stayed in the top 5,000 on Amazon the entire month. If you want to, think about the numbers behind that, I'm thrilled. But I don't have a job, right? I can't guarantee I'm going to sell any books next month. But guess what? I'm going to sell books next month. But it's a mentality thing. It's an older generation thing to be like, oh, well, you did it once, but can you do it again? It's like, I have the confidence to do it again. And I think everybody should have that self-confidence that yeah, look at that month where I picked some awesome stuff, and you have no guarantee you can do it next month. You don't know what you're going to find. You don't know if the sales are going to dry up, or you get competition coming in, or all of a sudden everybody's reading about guitar anymore because the grandmas are all selling them. I mean, could that happen? Sure. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. You know, you're either a hustler or you're not. But I mean, that's the first thought I had when I started laughing. But as far as like haters in business, I mean, change brings out the worst in people. And when we we were promoting FBA at a time when nobody knew what FBA was, and there was a little bit of resistance from people thinking, oh, we don't want people. And I'm like, really? You think you can keep FBA a secret? You know how big Amazon is, right? You know that they push it in Seller Central every time you log in, right? So, I mean, it was a very silly thing, but it came from change, and the story that makes me think of is when Jeff Bezos launched the Kindle. And people were saying, oh, that's going to destroy books, and authors, it's going to destroy authors, it's going to destroy this. But you had to be careful who was saying it. Because if it's a publishing house who is worried that you're not going to buy their books anymore, then their opinion is a little jaded, right? Their opinion is self-preservation versus someone who doesn't have that baggage that says, you know what, this could destroy books. I could see how it's going to change this and this and that. But so you have to be careful where the criticism is coming from, because change is always going to bring. Nobody likes change. But once you get over yourself and say, all right, there is change. I mean, personally, I love change because every time something changes, I look for the opportunities. Because if there's changes, some people are going to quit. Some people are going to go home. Some people are going to say, I'm not playing anymore. And if you take them out of the game, guess what? The demand is still there. So think of a change on Amazon. Oh, the fee structure for oversized items, the fees went up to 36%. Oh, I'm quitting Amazon. Screw those guys. Good. Get out of here, because guess what? I don't pay fees, my friend. Buyer pays fees. eBayers are kind of still the worst. They still think they pay fees. No, my friends, your eBay buyers pay fees. Build your fees into your prices if you haven't already. I don't care if fees go up, because if the sellers leave because of fees, good. The demand is still there. The demand with now lower supply leads to higher prices. I love change. Every time something changes, people should stop, be mad about it for 3 seconds, and then say, okay, where do the opportunities lie? If there's a difference in the fee structure, where do I need to position myself? What products are now attractive to sell? What products are not attractive to sell? And shift and pivot and be ready. Because the ones who don't, the ones who complain, the ones who hop on Facebook, oh, I can't believe Amazon did this, you're wasting your time, because that is a non-profitable use of your time. And I mean, I rant a little bit on haters because they just waste their own time, And I had an epiphany the other day. Anything that's a distraction, out of my life. Don't need it. I'm too busy executing to worry about any of that crap. And it's very freeing.
Team Xing, man. You're doing the Team X right there. That's cool.
You guys got Team X too? Did I rip that off you guys?
No. We just ripped it off you. You just don't know it yet. So here's something interesting coming from the comment feed, bro. Super 3D Flyer, 45 seconds ago. I was like, who is this Chris Green guy? Until he mentioned the $200 book. The only $200 book that I know is Retail Arbitrage. Ding, ding, ding. So that, right. So your rankings, obviously, people know who you are. When they're saying the Retail Arbitrage and they tie $200 to it, they realize, oh, that's him. That's the guy,
I'm a real dude, man. I don't hide. I mean, my phone number's in the book. I got people calling me, and they expect to get like an assistant. I'm like, no one answers my phone, but I don't know. When it comes to audience and engagement, I love doing that because, and I'll tell you a secret. Everybody listening, here's a secret. You put your phone number in a book, you're going to look like a big shot. Everybody's going to be like, dang, that guy put his phone number in a book. Wow, I can call him if I want to. But the number of people who actually take you up on it is very, very low. And I'll preface it by saying this way. If your book is good and answers all the questions, they're not going to need to call you, all right? So put out good content. They're not going to need to call you. But the offer to call is so strong. It just means so much to people. And it doesn't take a lot of your time. It really doesn't. My new book, Online Arbitrage, I offer a free 30-minute coaching session over screen share or Skype or anything like that. And I've done 4 of them. And I've sold a lot of books, and 4 people have taken me up on it. And every one of them, I'll be happy to do it. I will do them every day, all night. Anybody that buys the book and asks. But for the most part, the book is good. They're going to read it. They're not going to need 30 minutes. But that offer is just very compelling, and people really appreciate it. And then they go in the groups and say, dude, I bought this book, and it came with free 30-minute coaching, and you can't buy that, right? But you can put yourself out there, and it really doesn't crush your time where all my phone's ringing all the time. People don't want to call me. You know why? Because talking to me doesn't make them money. What makes them money? Going to the stores and getting stuff to sell, right? There's no money in talking to me. I'll be happy to answer a question and get you over the hump. But
wait a minute.
Hey, Chris, can you look this book up for me real quick?
Right now?
What?
Wait, I said, wait. There's no money in talking to you right now, you mean?
No, if you call me on the phone, you're not making money.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just referring to the interview.
Oh, so. we can chat anytime, but
man, you're costing me money, man. Okay. One of the things we want to do, Chris Green, is I'm going to go into the comment. We got so many people in the comment feed right now. We got 140 viewers in the room. People from Katie Patton. I know you know who that is.
I do.
All the way down to Callie Picker, who I talked to last night on a Google chat, Kelvin Washington, Anthony Otto, Redlands Trade, Super 3D Flyer. You know what I like about this feed and what I love about YouTube, by the way, maybe this is a business opportunity for you too. I don't know how you're going to capitalize on that, but like the feed has so many new people each and every show that we have, which is crazy. So you can really market something in your sleep through YouTube if you really wanted to. But anyway, we got a lot of people in here. People from within the green room, from not in the green room, people from Spokane, Washington. The Spokane Pickers are in the house. Yeah, there's a ton of people. Mothership Products, eBay Pereira. Okay, so I've named a few. There are a ton in here. One of the things that we want to do is through a questionnaire, not a questionnaire, but if anybody in the green room has any questions for you, we're going to put those as a priority right now just because there's only like 5 or 6 questions. College Picker, do you have those up right now?
Yeah, I have the first one if you want me to shoot.
Yeah. I think Chris Green, are you ready for some rapid fire?
Yeah, Dan, let's do it. I'm scared of no questions.
This is from Silent6. She says, when you first started, what motivated you to push forward to push it to the next level? Did you have like a certain motivation, maybe like bills that you had to pay to like keep your house or anything like that? Like what motivated you to make it to the next level, take it to the next level?
Great question, Silent6. Appreciate it. Appreciate you watching and listening. To be honest, I've never really been motivated by money. I'm not like a bling bling kind of guy. I mean, it's kind of in your blood, right? Like when I wrote the first book, I'm looking back, I'm like, this is kind of crazy. I've kind of done this my whole life. This is just kind of what I enjoy doing. I would do it for not money. The fact that I could make money doing it was even better. You know, when I really first started getting big, it was when I was working for Bosch Power Tools. I was calling on Home Depot, so I was in Home Depots every day. And, you know, I was kind of in the work mode, right? So I wasn't thinking, and then it's after seeing it over and over and over again, the product cycles, the clearance cycles, the product changes, seasonal, all that stuff. You're like, wait a minute, I could sell this on eBay. I could buy this and sell this on eBay. Then you start buying it all up, and you know what I'm motivated by now is the lifestyle. I love the freedom, and when I say lifestyle, I don't want people to think, oh, this is a lifestyle, and I'm on the beach, my feet are kicked up. No, I like the freedom. You know, my kids are in school right now, public school, and that drives me nuts because they don't have freedom. I can't even just take them out of school without the school flipping out. But as for me, I can do whatever I want each day, right? I can say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go thrifting today, or you know what, I'm gonna go clearance, or you know what, I'm gonna do a YouTube video, or there's lots of things that you can do to generate money when you have an audience, and that's one thing. That's how I found you guys with the YouTube videos and the ride-alongs and the blue shades. I mean, I was like, dude, it's so easy, right? So you can have fun and you can help people and you can make money doing it. But yeah, I'm motivated by the lifestyle. I'm motivated by being able to help people. And if you need me to keep my questions shorter, just let me know because I remember you did say rapid fire.
No, that's fine. Sudamon says, what are your opinions on the new DVD policy and general tips for new sellers?
Oh, good question on DVDs, because DVDs have changed a lot in the last year. The first change in DVDs on Amazon for third-party sellers were some of the big houses like Warner Brothers has come in and they've restricted the resale of their DVDs to only authorized resellers, which is very few. The big houses, the Amazon, the Go Hastings, stuff like that. So the most part, if you're a small third-party seller, stay away from Warner Brothers. And unfortunately, I got to kind of give the advice, stay away or be prepared to stay away from the other big studios, Sony, Disney. I am not really attracted to that right now because the punishment is so severe. If you're even accused of selling counterfeit product, your entire selling your selling privileges are at risk. And to me, it's just not worth it. You find like one like Harry Potter thing at the thrift store, like, you know, factory sealed set, looks great, but if you can't prove that chain of custody going back, it's gonna be it could be a time bomb in your account. Now, because of that, you know, and because of how easy it was to sell on Amazon, a lot of counterfeit products made it in the supply chain, got to customers, they get upset and all this stuff. So Amazon has put in these new DVD restrictions where you have to be approved. You have to send in 3 invoices not from like retail invoices, all right, not retail receipts, invoices from wholesale companies for products that you want to sell that are over $25, over that $24.99, and that $25 price point should be a real key that this is what Amazon's worried about, because people don't counterfeit $9.99 DVDs. All right, if you're going to counterfeit something, they're counterfeiting the high price, you know, the box sets, the season sets, stuff like that. So in the end, all these rules are designed to force sellers into good behavior, to get rid of bad sellers, and to make sure that the customers on Amazon are getting what they expect, getting real product, not having a bad experience and saying, screw Amazon, last time I bought there I got some crappy counterfeit, and never coming back to the Amazon platform, which will hurt all sellers. So like every time Amazon makes a new rule, I always try to remind people, don't complain. There is a goal behind this, because what Amazon does is they force seller behavior with rules, with policies, with fees. You know, if they want you to stop sending in, you know, those crappy VHS copies of Speed, they're going to increase the fees on small, lightweight items in the media category. And they did that, you know. So everybody's selling cheap, you know, lightweight books. No, the fees went up on that to get, you know, products, get sellers to not send that stuff in anymore. Because Amazon can't tell you what to do. They can't say send this and don't send this, because then they're on the hook. Right, but they can strongly encourage you to not send that by making it very expensive for you. So
can't they put like a hazard? Can't they put like a hazmat on it and just like ixnay the product?
They could, but then someone will fuss about that too. So you really can't win.
I was trying to send in a radio, and for some reason, like this radio had a hazmat thing on it, but it was a really, really like high-priced, like well-rated, well-ranking radio, but just wasn't able to sell FBA, so it kind of sucked.
It probably like a lithium battery for.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the other things I've sold have lithium batteries in it. I sell cell phones FBA, and that like has lithium batteries in it too.
Yeah, but don't complain about that. Just because you're like scooting in on those.
Hey guys, just wanted to say a quick hi.
Oh yeah, we are one Asian person even heavier in our admin group now.
Oh my gosh,
we have Yong in here.
How's it going, Chris Green?
Yong, good to see you, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
We've been busy. We've been executing in here.
Oh, there you go.
This is the Amazon's freaking episode is awesome.
Yeah, that's basically.
No, I love it, man. I love it.
Barcodes up in here.
What was that?
He's got a
my eyes,
right
my eyes! Oh gosh, come on, man, watch the eyes.
It said, Yong, you are a 1.5 million rank, and you're only worth $9.99. That's what it says when it scanned you.
Oh my gosh.
That rank is terrible.
Anyway,
it lied.
CP, you got a couple more questions?
Yeah, the Brox family wants to know your thoughts on double listing merchant fulfilled with eBay auctions, like getting yourself in trouble, or is it worth the extra effort?
No, that's a great idea.
Okay.
You know, what you're doing is called multi-channel fulfillment, and you can use Amazon's FBA program for that. A lot of people think once I send it to Amazon, I use the FBA, it's got to sell on Amazon, right? And that's not the truth. You can use Amazon to warehouse your stuff and drop ship your orders from Craigslist, from your buddy who PayPal'd you, from eBay, for a guest. I mean, I drop ship my own book. You know, if I don't go to the post office. Are you kidding? Amazon's going to pick it and pack and ship it for me for $3.40. I'm not even going to save money doing it myself. So if you're an eBay seller.
But if I did something like that, let's say for instance I double listed on eBay, right? And for instance like a book, a customer buys it on eBay, and then I go into Seller Central, and then I have Amazon ship that book to the customer on eBay. Wouldn't they always ship it in an Amazon box? And then if I was a customer and I get a box from Amazon, I'm like, well, what the heck is this? I open up the book. I open up the box. It's my book. I go on Amazon and I realize, well, freak, it's so much cheaper on here. I mean, wouldn't that? I mean, that's what I was always concerned about.
No, he would just be like, well, this guy's really cool. He recycles materials, so he used an Amazon box.
See, but that's your train of thought.
You're both wrong. You're both wrong.
Okay.
All right, check this out. All right, now this is a big answer, all right, but it's 100% accurate.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to take a book, right, something you have one of on Amazon, right, first you need to give me a reason to list it on eBay. Because if you expect it to sell on Amazon, don't go all ninja and be like, I got to be on Abe and eBay and Alibris. And you don't have to be on every channel, right? If it's going to sell, it's going to sell. Now, if it's something that you want to get extra exposure on, it's a high-ranking book, it's very niche, long tail, whatever, sure, list it on eBay because maybe that buyer's going to eBay first. You don't want to get a double sale, right, where it sells on eBay and then boom, it sells on Amazon, and now you got to fulfill 2 orders. If you do, buy from another seller, even if you lose money, and honor those purchases is my advice. But you can always take what you want.
I've done that before. I usually make money off of it, though.
Yeah, you can usually find the product and get it to them. So honor your customers that way. But for the most part, that's not going to happen because I recommend to people, if you believe it's going to sell, don't cross-list it, or only cross-list stuff that you have a high quantity of. You know, you've got 40 of something. So, yeah, throw some on eBay and think you'll sell them a little quicker. Go for it. You want to manage them to make sure you don't get the double sales. Now, if you get an eBay buyer buys it, you go to multi-channel fulfillment and ship it. I think they still have an option. I think you can pay an extra $1 for a non-branded box.
Yeah, exactly.
But in my opinion, it's not worth it. I've done thousands, literally thousands of multi-channel fulfillment orders and from eBay, shipping Amazon product in Amazon boxes. And what I always did is when I got the shipment notification from Amazon, because I always use 2-day shipping, always. Because when you break down the fees, the 2-day shipping is going to, for the most part, cost you like $2 or $3 more than is standard, and your customer is just going to be blown away. They're going to get it so fast, especially on an eBay order. They're not even expecting it, and then boom, it shows up. So they're going to get it faster. You get that shipping notification. I would always take it. I would take all the Amazon stuff out of it, then forward it to the customer. Say, here's your tracking number. It's on the way. And you can even say in there if you want. I never did, but you could. We use Amazon fulfillment for our shipping. So it may arrive in an Amazon labeled box, but if you need customer service, you know, we're the ones who sold it. So you can preface it and kind of get ahead of it in case you're worried about that. But honestly, in thousands of shipments doing this many complaints. Absolutely
that's good to know. That's good
zero.
To know. Yeah,
and
that was always my concern.
Yeah, I think mostly it's because they get it so darn fast that they don't care.
Okay.
Cool.
And if it does happen, and this is the big kicker, right? If it does happen, deal with it. Deal with it with your customer service. Explain to the customer. Say, hey, I understand, because you can see their point. You're worried about it. You say, hey, I understand what you think. You know that we just drop ship it. You know we don't. This is our product. We inventory it. Amazon is just a shipper. Use your customer service to take care of any customer issues. But don't throw multi-channel fulfillment out because you're worried about one potential customer service issue that you can easily take care of, right?
Good to know.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
College Picker, what do we have? How many we got left on the?
I mean, more are popping in. The more, like, because we already have that feed going on the green room. People are asking more questions, but
let's get like 2 more from the green room real quick.
There's a good one. Jeremiah Byron wants to hear Chris and Steve talk back and forth in regards to Kindle books as a passive income source.
Is Steve on Kindle? I thought you used Gumroad and that was it.
Well, I do a lot on Kindle, a lot of outsourced work where I have other people write books and stuff on niche topics and whatnot. I'm not actually published under my own name, which I actually have something that I'm working on in the future that I am going to put on Amazon Kindle under my own name because the market is absolutely huge. But Kindle, like we were talking earlier with Chris Green and the Bonafide was touching on it, I mean, the internet's huge. People are going on the internet. There's a shift. A lot of people there, in my opinion, they're looking to consume information in digital files, and it's so easy now to, you know, just go on to, you know, Amazon Kindle, and if you want to read arbitrage, you want to read it now the second, you just buy, you know, you buy Chris Green's Kindle format, and it's there. It's you know, you're able to consume the information quick. So there's a lot of people going on to Amazon Kindle right now, not only for Kindle books, but, you know, hardcovers and whatnot. They're going there and they're looking for information. And Amazon's just like, it's a search engine, just like Google is, just like Bing is. And there's a huge opportunity on Kindle right now because you could pretty much have books written or write books that you're an expert on or other people are on, and you can rank them really high in the search engine. People are going there, they're looking, and if you know how to make a good cover, if you have high-quality content, if you can make a good description, Amazon will market it for you. That's the beautiful thing about it. And I know Chris Green knows all about that. He when we met, he was kind of busting my butt saying, "Dude, what are you doing? Get your book on get your book on Amazon." And I think last month alone, I mean, I've only been working on Amazon Kindle for a while. I think I brought in about over $1,500, and it was just 3 months. And I mean, with not that much work, and I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying it to impress upon you the opportunity that Amazon Kindle has. So it's crazy. What do you think, Chris?
I love Kindle because it's easy, but I would step back one more and go to CreateSpace because no one knows about CreateSpace. I've been telling people about it for 3.5 years. My first book was published 3.5 years ago. And what CreateSpace is, it's owned by Amazon. I wish they just call it Amazon Space or something. But Amazon owns it. And if you can write a Kindle book, right? If you can write a Word document, a PDF, you upload it to CreateSpace with a cover, right? It's 2 files. It's a interior file and a cover. And if you can get through the formatting, which isn't hard, the first time you do it will be a little tricky. Get it done, and you are now a published author. Physical product, published on-demand books the next day. They're approved in 12 hours.
That's how I got this thing going. Well, this was CreateSpace done right here.
How do you like the quality? Is that the first one you've done?
Yeah, this is my first book. Yang actually built the cover for me. Shout out to Yang, who may or may not. Yeah, there he is. All right. Yeah, shout out to Yang. He hashed out this cover in a day. This book is 144 pages long. I mean, the interior, you can see it's done really nicely. And it's glossy cover. You can get matte or glossy. The first time around, the formatting is kind of like they'll shove it back to you, be like, hey, you still got to do this with formatting. And that'll go back and forth about 8 to 10 times. But after that, and once you get someone designing the cover in exactly they give you the specs of what the cover should look like. I mean, with inches and everything, they'll say this is where the spine goes, and this is where your picture needs to be. If it bleeds out of this space, it might just be cut off completely, right? So Yang looked at that thing, and within 1 day, he figured it out. He's like, "Here's your cover." But yeah, that was done on CreateSpace, and you're right. I wanted to become a published author, and that's why I did that. But it was a lot of forum research. That's how I figured out about CreateSpace. Because there's a lot of people paying big money to just be talked about in a forum, and it just so happens that CreateSpace just happens to be the big gorilla in the room that you got to mess with, man.
Well, and since Amazon owns them, they subsidize. I don't know if you looked at the pricing structure from Lulu or Lightning.
Oh yeah.
3 times as much if you want to do on-demand publishing through these other companies. It's because Amazon wants the content. Amazon wants the book on Amazon. They want the customers, they want the search, they want all that stuff. So they've subsidized it. My first book, the one Steve has, cost me $4. My author cost $4. And if I hand that to somebody, that means a lot. They're like, wow, you're going to give me this book, and I can sign it. It just means so much to people to give them something, and it makes you, it kind of elevates you. And I say this as a published author myself. I am nobody, okay? I am not an author. I'm not an English major. I'm nothing. I'm a guy who got a really long Word document put together and uploaded a file to CreateSpace. Let's call it what it is. But, and this is the thing. This is what I want people to take away and be like, okay, I can do that. If Bonafide did it, if Chris Green did it, then I can do it, because everybody looks at you as an author like, oh, you wrote a book? Then they elevate you a little bit. They're like, oh, you're an expert. Oh, you're someone in the field. I could take my book to the local TV station and walk in and say, hey, I'm local. I'm an expert in this topic. If you want to do a segment, my phone number's in the book. And guess what? They're going to call me. And if I go in with a business card, they're going to say, get the hell out of here. We're busy. We're a TV show. We don't have time for this. It's that difference, right? But going back to the Kindle thing, the CreateSpace, once you do CreateSpace, they'll say, hey, do you want to be on Kindle? And you're like, heck yeah, I do. They'll give you the files. All you got to do is I think they actually integrated it now. You can just go straight to KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, with the files. It's uploaded. I don't know if you guys use Matchbook. Matchbook came out, I think, less than a year ago, where now if they buy my physical book, they get the Kindle book for free. It's an amazing value proposition where it makes no sense to buy my book anywhere else other than Amazon, which is, I'm sure, exactly what Amazon wants. And the value to the customer is just so easy, and you can distribute content. You can cheat Google search. I mean, seriously, if you've got your book, not to pick on your Gumroad book, but at RAIKENProfit.com/books/September/1,000 things to buy PDF versus Amazon, right? What's Google going to put number one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
so
the thing about the
easy.
KDP thing, by the way, Chris, is the KDP thing, it was like a couple mouse clicks for me. It was that easy to get it on KDP. So when you said it was just take a file from here to there, for me it wasn't even like that. It was just, do you want your thing on KDP or not? And this is why you would want it on KDP. If not, it's not a big deal. Uncheck that box. And I basically checked a couple boxes, and they threw the thing on KDP, and I enrolled in that. If they buy my physical copy on Amazon, they can also get my Kindle copy for like $3. It was something like that.
Free, man.
Yeah, and it was just like a no-brainer, and so it's surprising because some people, buy the Kindle copy as well. They even have the physical copy right there. They just want the Kindle copy as well. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
So
and look at this big picture style, because you guys give away so much help and so much information, so much YouTube content. I guarantee you have people buying your book who are buying it just to buy something from you. They're never going to read it. But you've given them value to where they're like, hey, I wanna respect you, man. You got a book out? Heck yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy 2 copies, and I'll buy the Kindle version. You give them something, right? And I make money off my books. I get checks in the mail, and it's great. But at the same time, I'm also generating leads. I'm building up myself as an expert in my field, in Amazon and arbitrage, just like you guys can do with your books on the front page. Hey, sign up for the Green Room Hangout. On the front page, put your email address in, call to action. So if you want to build an audience at the same time as brand yourself an expert in any type of field, Kindle and CreateSpace, and to me that is the easiest. You bundle Kindle, CreateSpace, and Spreecast or Google Hangouts, and put in some work, then you can do anything. As long as you have some kind of content, you can give value and build an audience, and it's really just that easy. The fact that we make money on it at the same time is. I keep going back to that. It's just awesome.
I like how you said that. That you can, for people that are watching out there in YouTube land, he's not necessarily talking about hustling or reselling. If you have a great idea, or if you're an expert on something, it doesn't have to be what we're talking about. It can be freaking basket weaving, right? If you're just a really good basket weaver. These are ways for you to, not step into corporate America and make yourself that nice passive income stream, or at least one of many. And it's a very easy way to do it. If you can figure out a Word document, the rest is all figured out. But you got to be able to do the Word document.
And to touch on that a little bit more, we live in such a beautiful age where it's like you don't have to our parents and our grandparents, they had one job, and that's how they brought all their income in. You don't have to just do Amazon FBA. You don't have to just do eBay. You don't have to just do Etsy or Craigslist or Amazon Kindle or have your own website or have an app. You could do it all. You could have multiple income streams. You don't have to rely on one thing. And I know a lot of folks out there, they get bored with the same routine, going into the same job, doing the same things over and over again. With the internet, with just technology, you don't have to get bored. You could do so many different things. You could become a master at different things. Like Chris was saying, why just sell leather jackets when there's T-shirts out there, when there's books you could scan, when there's so many different things out there? It's just an amazing time, and I know for myself, I'm so grateful to be living in this time, and I know you are too, Chris, and everyone else here. So many opportunities, really are.
This is just the start of it too. That's the sad part about it. The whole thing is we're probably on the tiny, most infantile cusp of something much larger than what we can even fathom, and we are just like this excited about it, right? But think about 50 years down the road, and your kids are going to be like, they might not even go to college, which I don't think my kids are going to go to college, honestly.
My kids are going to go to college.
They're going to learn how to freaking program, and they're going to learn how to do apps, and it's going to be that kind of stuff. Those are the things that build the self-driving cars. Those are the people that change the freaking way that you live life, are really programmers and people that mess with computers, man, and apps. That changes your life.
And just to kind of just touch base on what Steve was saying, I've been doing this, Chris Green, since '87. I was 15 years old. I was this snotty-nosed kid, man. I would collect sports cards, comic books, and I would go to flea markets, right? I have a binder, And back then we didn't have iPhones, we didn't have smartphones, we didn't have any of that, right?
Walkie-talkies.
Exactly, right. And so our only avenue of reselling was really garage sales and, like I said, flea markets and stuff like that. And maybe the newspaper ads, right? You buy the little newspaper ads, and But now, I mean, and I've experienced it, right? I mean, now we got the computers and the smartphones, and we got so much avenues to make so much money, right? eBay, Bonanza, FBA, and like you guys are talking about, Kindle. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh, the opportunities are there, really.
Yeah. People got to remember it's technology, though. You guys know I'm a big Gary Vee fan, and he was asked at one of his keynotes, he was like, are people being too romantic about tech CEOs? Like, the CEOs of the tech companies that are like, the Facebooks and the WhatsApp and Instagram and Oculus and all that stuff. And trying to say, hey, a CEO is a CEO, right? Like an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. Is like true or not? And he said, no, we're not being too romantic about technology CEOs because technology is going to eat the world. It's technology. Don't get all excited about, oh, the CEO of this, new startup, restaurant. Who cares? Technology is going to eat him too, right? And I use a Jeff Bezos quote all the time. Your margin is my opportunity. Anywhere you see margin, anywhere somebody is making money, there's an opportunity there for you to use technology and do whatever they are doing and do it just this much better than they are, and you get to keep those profits. You get to hustle that. And technology is allowing us to scale infinitely. It's ridiculous. Anything you want to do, I guarantee you, hang out with me for 5 minutes, and I will tell you 10 ways that you can make money doing what you want to do. But you have to know what it is to do. You have to keep up. You have to know about things like Spreecast and Kindle and Hangouts and Facebook groups. And I mean, I love Facebook groups. You guys have Facebook groups. Gary Vee, my tech idol, doesn't do Facebook groups. He's stuck over on Twitter because that's his thing, right? You have to know about all these different things and use them optimally. Don't use a Facebook group like a page, right? Don't use Spreecast like making a YouTube video. I mean, Spreecast and Google Hangouts is for live. There has to be a reason to be here live. If there's no reason to be here live, then we should all just record this and edit it and make it look good and then post it later, right? There has to be a reason to be live. You have to understand the platform and use it optimally. I've seen people use platforms the wrong way. If you don't engage, if you don't answer the questions from your audience feed in the chat, then what's the point of being live, right? So I've seen people do it wrong and I see people do it right. But once you do it right, you just crush your competition because so many people don't get it. They're so afraid to fail that they won't even start. And in a way, I don't like that because I feel bad that people don't get started. But in a way, I love it because it means there's more for me. So you can't make anybody do it. You can bring them to the water, right? You can grab them by the back of the head and stuff their face in the lake. You can't make them drink it.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I agree.
I do have a question. So we are going to go to the feed. It's been kind of tough to get into the feed. There's so much talking between us, which is good. I do want to involve the feed a little bit. And before we end up doing that, one of the things that we blasted on our social media channels before the show even started was that we're going to give out our newest product, one copy, one PDF for free tonight. You guys got to let me know if you want free stuff. Just type it in like, I want free stuff. I want to be considered, I want that 100 amazing items to resell. That's our newest. What'd you say? What'd you say, RAIKEN? Do they like free stuff? You always say that. If you don't like free stuff, you're out of your mind. So we have, a week ago we came out with our 100 amazing items to resell. It's a guide, right? It's not a book. It's not a series of videos or anything. It's simply a guide. And what a guide does is it allows you to get from point A to point B in a much simpler sense. Okay, it guides your eyes to go, okay, I should be looking for these kind of items when I'm at a garage sale, when I'm at a thrift store. Okay, so that's what the guide is all about. Will it tell you to buy it for this price and then sell it for that price? No, because markets change, and we realized that in order to make this book a little bit on the timeless scale where it can endure the waves, we didn't want to put any pricing information in it. But we wanted to make sure that you guys out there had a chance to see regular items that you can buy and sell and make money on, because that's a good income stream to have forever. So that's what this guide kind of unlocks for either the beginner or intermediate kind of hustler, and even someone in my status, which I consider myself to be a really good hustler. I've even learned from the guide, right? Which is freaking crazy. Like, I've learned from Yong's post in the guide while we were building it, and I found some of that stuff at garage sales or thrift stores, and I put it on freaking I did the work that was needed, right? I did a little bit of freaking research, put it on a decent channel, it sells, bam, money in my account. So that's what a guide does. That's what we made. Just remember, it won't tell you exactly how to do every part of it, but it'll highlight what you need to be looking for regular kind of everyday kind of profits that you can find. We are giving out that guide for free in about 10 minutes. So
it's real simple. It's like the Dr. Seuss of picking guide. It's super easy to follow and broken down.
Easy to read. Yeah, it's simple.
I hustled an item in the guide yesterday. Bought it for 10, sold it for 75. Craigslist, bam.
There you go, man. And that's easy money. That's Craigslist. And by the way, Craigslist is some of the easiest money you'll ever see on earth, because you literally have the item 1 second and you have money in your hand the very next second. You don't have to wait, to do a twice a month kind of drop from your PayPal account to your bank account, which takes 4 more days. It's in your hands right then and there. So Craigslist is absolutely a great avenue to hustle things. And when you look at the stuff in the guide, you'll see antique booth. You'll have recommendations of places to sell the items, right? We recommend you, like, this is where you should put the item if you find this item. And many times you'll see Amazon, you'll see eBay, you'll see FBA in there, you'll see antique booth. So we kind of help you with that too. So like the guide helps you in those kind of respects. It'll never tell you what to buy it for and what to sell it for, because any successful hustler should know that you gotta do some research a little bit, okay? So don't be afraid of a little bit of research. That's not time consuming. It's super easy to do. Chris Green, research is fun, right? Because you almost see the future. And it takes a smartphone, right? It takes maybe, not much stuff. For me, like I can hustle without the guide all day now because I know what's in it. But, to know what to look for is so important in this world. When you go to a garage sale, people are not stupid around there anymore. There's competition around you. You got to be able to find the stuff fast. And this will help you do it. All right, so that being said, if you are watching the YouTube broadcast right now, one of the things we want you to do, if you love the guest we have today, give us a thumbs up. We want to know. Oh, look at that. He's making a heart with his hand. I thought only women did that kind of stuff. Okay. I thought women do that.
Hey, Chris Green, you.
No, dude, like the last time I saw one of those was like some girl doing it in a yoga pose with like a sunset behind her, and I was like
on Instagram or something.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Anyway, he just did like
interest or something, guys.
He gave us a woman heart, guys. He is giving the woman heart from
that was
him
too
to
funny.
you. But if you do, what he's trying to say is, if you do like the broadcasts and you do like the guests that are on the Green Room Hangouts, especially this guest, the only way that we really know what's going on is either you guys are commenting in the feed or the like button is hit. And it's a very easy thing to do. It probably takes 0.02.8 of a calorie to move your finger to the like button and just hit bam. That's all you have to do. And that just shows that you appreciate the show and that we can keep doing it and all that kind of stuff. I want to go into there's so many people in the comment feed that are saying, I want time Gil Daddy in the feed right now. I want free SHIT. I don't want to say it on air, but Gil Daddy's in the feed, guys, and that's a big guy with a really big free Facebook group as well. So, like you said, Chris Green, you like Facebook groups. You strike me as the kind of guy who likes anybody that's willing to take a step in the right direction and refuse to be complacent, right?
Pretty much, man. It's so easy. I hate to even get fired up about it, because if you need a kick in the pants to get on a Facebook group and read a few threads about what to buy, or to buy a $40 guide that's going to make you $75 in one flip, if you need I don't need to kick you in the butt to do that, right? You should already be wanting to do that. Now, if you don't know where to go, if you're like, man, I've never been a Facebook guy, I'll tell you, hey, Facebook groups in 2014, 2015 are the best place to go and network with other people who want to share success stories and answer questions. Hands down, that is where I would hang out if I wanted to learn something. All you got to do is have that want. If you want to learn, you can succeed. But if you don't want to, if you want to come in and complain and say, oh, there's so much competition on eBay right now, then I
And go
don't
on
know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is tough because when we come, I mean, most of us here in the room, all of us in the admins come from a mindset where we almost created our own destiny, right? And our destiny, look, we're not balling out of control. We're not backing a Bentley out of our garage right now. But, you know, we are creating...
Speak for yourself, man.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe Young has just recently acquired a Bentley, but I haven't acquired a Bentley yet. And even if I could, I don't even know if I'd buy one anyway. But point is, we're not like balling out of control. Like some people go, oh, they're making so much. Dude, it's not about the money. It's about helping. If you have a viable product and a value and a good proposition, and you're helping someone by not screwing them over, that's a good product, right? And it's a good product if it can unleash an insane income stream for that person. Now, that's a seriously good product.
But that's a positioning thing. People need to, like, this is big picture stuff, guys. If you want to be able to unleash a product that brings you income, you have to, I say this all the time, it's going to be what my next book is about. It's called audience. You have to have an audience. My number one most valuable thing, but besides, forget the books, forget the apps, forget the groups, all that stuff, is an audience. And that's why I'm very protective of my reputation. That's why I only want to bring the best content. Because if you have an audience, then you have something of real value. I can write a book and they will buy it and not even read it because they're part of my audience, and they will buy whatever I put out because I consistently bring them value. Like what you're doing. I mean, I am not big on YouTube. I'm jealous of the way you guys are using YouTube. I need to use YouTube more because there's an audience there that is not on Spreecast or Facebook. And you can give value to your audience at scale. You have to do that first. I could have the best book, but if you didn't know who I was, nobody's going to buy it. I could have the best app, no one's going to buy it. I could have the best YouTube channel, but nobody's going to see it. Right? You have to have that audience. And how do you do that? You have to build it one by one by going out there, answering questions, providing value over and over and over again. Thankfully, it's 2014. You can do that at scale for very little effort other than your time, and your time is multiplied across any hour of the day that you're willing to put it in. And when you have that audience, and if you have good content, you always have to have good content, because if your content sucks, I don't care how big your audience is, they're not going to buy it. Then you bring them that book. You bring them a Gumroad link or a Kindle link, and they're going to buy it. They will reward your efforts every single time, but it always goes back to audience. There are no shortcuts, and that's what I see people get frustrated. They want the shortcut. They want to, I want to write a book. I want to be Chris Green. I want to be a bona fide hustler. You can, but you better put in 2, 3, 4 years. They're not hard years, they're fun years, but you have to put them in. You have to pay your dues. There are no shortcuts. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
But it's a very fun marathon, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be born in 1978, where I get to live through these years of this transition into technology and this shift in consumer behavior, and the shift. It's amazing, and I don't take it for granted. I think every single day, what can I do? How can I provide? What can I do new? Can I do a question of the day? What can you do new to help people and grow your audience? And then when you come out with a $200 book, it stays in the top 5,000 rank on Amazon for a whole month, and you get rewarded. But that would never happen if I hadn't put in 5 years of helping people.
Right. So while we're on that note, why don't we now, because we did it in the very first part of the show, but let's do it at the tail end of the show too. How can people get in contact with you or get to know you better and follow you? And if they really enjoyed this broadcast, how can they connect with you further?
You guys can find me at, you won't believe this, maybe you guys already know it, facebook.com/Chris. That's me. You can hit me up there.
Oh my God.
How'd you get that one, man?
I'm Chris. Oh, yeah, I got you double, bud.
You can leave me like no options, man. All right.
You can find me there. I spend a lot of time in the ScanPower Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/ScanPower. It is kind of heavy FBA and Amazon related. But if you're selling online, we answer a lot of questions, or we'll direct you to a group that could, if it's eBay focused, we can send you to a group that's more about eBay. But I spend a lot of time there. That's where, I post a lot, I reply a lot. We do Spreecast 2 or 3 times a week, similar to Google Hangouts. It's just on a different site with a live chat and a live feed. And you can find my books on Amazon. My email, chris@scanpower.com. And yeah, I'm very easy to get a hold of, and happy to help, happy to answer questions, and definitely excited to connect with you guys, man. I've been watching you guys on YouTube for a while, and like I say, this is an execution. This is crossover show. I love this.
So
I like that.
I sent Chris an email randomly like a couple months ago, and I put my phone number in the bottom of it, and he actually called me. I had no clue who it was.
Oh my
he He called me and we talked for about an hour or so, and you actually had pushed me towards writing the book, and I did finish the Guitar Hero book I was telling you about. But I didn't do CreateSpace publishing. It's just my self-published PDF. But you definitely inspired me and kind of motivated me to do that.
Wow, man, you guys are motivating me. So Chris Green, so these guys have been pushing me to write a book, and I've kind of just, it's like on the back burner, on the back burner. It's not really important to me right now. But man, I mean, no. After talking to Chris Green, man, I'm getting a little excited, getting the jitters.
Getting hot in here.
I think your plans, Young, are not on the back burner, but maybe behind you, right next to that pepperoni that you have behind you.
Oh yeah, man. That I've been chewing on that all day.
Hey, Young, is that a VCR behind you?
No, man. What are you talking about? That's my iMac.
There's
No,
a VCR.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you know what I was doing
that?
was you know what I was doing was I was digitizing my my old VHS tapes onto my computer. So that's what I was doing. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
No, I think Young is just like a secret technological hater. Like he doesn't want change to DVD, so he I got the VHS and he's repping it strong. It's in the back of every one of his videos. It's like subliminal, I'm the guy, I'm the hater right here. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I was digitizing my old.
Are we gonna give this guide away or no?
Yes, we're gonna give the guide away. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I'm so anxious. I already got the question. I'm so
Okay,
anxious.
so CP, why don't you let the people know in the feed what they're gonna have to do to even.
I got this. All right. So, if you want to win this guide, you are going to have to do I just do it now? It's going to be as soon as I say it, they got to do it.
Yeah, just say it involves your Facebook, right?
Yes, they're going to have to go on my Facebook page. You're going to have to find the post where there's a blue circle of a really handsome guy. He's in a blue circle, and you're going to have to. This is what you're going to have to do. You're going to go on Amazon. He's got 2 books. Online Arbitrage, it's a $200 book, and he has another one called Arbitrage. It's an $8 book. You're going to take both of those sales ranks, and you're going to put them. You're going to comment on that picture of the guy with the blue circle. You're going to comment both of the sales ranks of the book. First person to do it wins the thing. That's it.
Why don't you guys make it more complicated?
Yeah, I was just about to say that too.
Dude, you can't make it easy.
You said it before I did.
You can't make it easy. You got to make it complicated.
How about what year did Chris Green start selling online or something
No, they're gonna find the sales ranks of both your books, do some work, and then post it on the Facebook page. And the first person.
Amazon's gonna refresh it right in the middle of this.
I have them both. Is it real time that fast?
No. It's every 2 hours, but it could statistically happen right now.
Okay, so yeah, there's a $200 book and there's a $10 book, Online Arbitrage and Arbitrage. They both have sales ranks, and I want them both posted underneath the beautiful picture of Chris on my Facebook page.
All right, we're waiting.
Dude,
You got a winner yet?
No, I don't know. I haven't on Facebook.
How about now?
Right, everybody's screw this.
It's a scavenger hunt. It's a scavenger hunt. So.
What the hell with all this?
Dude, what's the prize?
But in the meantime, the prize is a copy of the 100 Amazing Items to Hustle. Okay, Chris Davis got it.
All right, Chris Davis.
That was pretty quick. He's got a Ninja Turtle shirt on, so that's amazing.
I think he's in the green room as well, this guy.
That was quick. He got it.
Those are some pretty low ranks.
Wait a minute. Whoa. This guy's in the green room, though. I swear he is. So he gets the guide for free regardless. Do you see what I'm saying?
You know what? Here, let me see.
Yeah, we're going to have to cross-check that. I mean, we'll reward him some other way. I swear, because I commented on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt to welcome him into the group. We got a cat. We got a cat on screen. Picking Profits would love this, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. He's in the group.
So we got a catch-22 here.
No, actually we don't, because the next person gets the book, and then we'll reward him behind the scenes. We'll get him.
Zachary has won every contest. He's the next one in line.
That's because the contests are so hard to do that no one does them. It's
All right, we got Chris Davis as the winner. He's already in the green room. He already has a copy of it, and Zach Pennance will get one.
He's won 4 contests in a row.
He's got the
So
fast.
he is the second winner. Yes, he's the second winner. The Zachary guy.
He's the second winner, but the winner that doesn't have the book. So yeah.
So is he in? Is this guy in the green room? Is Zachary in the green room?
I don't think Zach Pennington's. No.
Okay. So we'll.
He doesn't have to be in the green room. He wins everything for free.
No joke. Okay, so that's good. I mean, man, that was fast. Okay, so that's cool. One of the things that, when we get big guests and crazy, very exciting guests like we have here today, guys, one of the things that I know that I made a mistake on, so I'm just going to be real honest about it, is I didn't go into my comment feed enough, right, into the YouTube comment feed. I wish I had, and we're sadly at the tail end of the show. Chris Green has been gracious enough to give us an hour of his time. Well, hour and 13 minutes now. If I could have changed anything, I would have gone into the feed a little bit more. But, that's how we get better, right? We have to make mistakes, and it's not a big deal. But if there's something I could do, I could have done better on this interview. I probably would have gone into the feed more so I can get. There are a lot of questions in there for you, Chris Green. So if you ever get a chance and you can see the comments when the show is not live anymore, it's just going to become a normal video on my channel, okay? And if you have a split second of a day, you're somewhere killing time, you can go into there and you can reply under your YouTube handle to some of these questions that were directed straight to you, okay?
Dude, I got that.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I wish I could have got to them. There was just so much going on. And don't get me wrong, what we talked about was all amazing stuff, and I know the people in the comment feed really liked it.
We didn't do an item of the week.
I know, we didn't do that either, and that's okay. So what is that? Sex package.
Hey, okay. You know what? This is a family show. I've always said that.
If he's
This is
doing
underground, man. This is Humpty Dance. What are you talking about?
Oh, nice! Bay Area.
I picked this, man.
if he's doing his item of the week, I'm doing my item of the week.
What's pretty crazy is that when I was a bouncer in the late 90s, that I actually bounced for them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
I had to make sure no one would get on stage when the Humpty guy was there, and all that stuff.
Look, you know what's funny is living in the Bay Area, these guys still perform all the time.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Hey, if you ever do a contest where a prize is the blue shades, I would really like to enter that contest.
I've done it in the past, Chris, twice actually.
I know, man. I tried to win, but your contests are popular. It's hard to win.
Yeah,
Man.
Tell you what, man. My 10K contest will probably be the shades. I'll contact Peppers and I'll see if I can get a deal from them. But yeah, I mean, my 10K contest is coming right around the corner, so I don't know how I'm gonna pick a winner, but I think it's gonna be, dude. This is gonna be kind of weird, but I'm a bit of a nerd in the background of my videos. I do kind of weird antics, and that's okay. But there's this thing I picked up at a garage sale about 2 months ago. It's a rocket, okay? And it's a rocket that has an altimeter inside. So it shows you how high it went when it finally gets the parachute out and it comes to the ground. So I'm going to allow everyone that enters the contest one guess on the amount of feet that it travels. And I think that's going to be the best way to give, the blue shades away / the book as well. And maybe if the bike guide is out by then, I can get the bike guide done too.
How many grains of rocket fuel do they use?
It's going to use, I think this one's going to go, it can use either a B4 to a C motor or something. So if I put a C motor, it'll go higher. If I put a B motor, it won't.
You got to let them know which one you're doing. You got to let them know the weight of the rocket too.
No, I'm not going to do anything. But I think that's the way I'm going to pick. If you saw some of my earlier...
You can't just make it a guessing game. You got to make it a calculation game.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll be basically if you're kind of a smart person, you'll be okay, this rocket is going to go over 100 feet, but probably less than 1,000, right? So you'll start knowing, okay, this is where I got to put my number anyway. So if you're into, and I'll definitely film the whole thing and everything, and I'm gonna chase after the parachute with camera and everything. It's going to be pretty interesting. But hey, Chris Green, thanks for being on our show. And promise us that you'll be on our show again one time in the distant future, please.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks. I appreciate the invite, Steve. Anytime, I will be more than happy to jam with you guys. It's a great crossover. It's a great audience, and we're helping people, make that money with hustling. However you want to hustle, there are ways to help each other, and I'm always down to learn something new too. I definitely don't know it all. The more things you can learn, it's so easy to learn. You just need to execute.
Okay. That's basically the Green Room Hangout number 29, guys. You can actually get all of this. When this becomes an actual video on my channel, you can go through the entire thing all over again and listen to what he has to say again if you want to, or if you haven't caught it and you're just getting to the last 10 minutes, you can check out the entire video right here on my channel, and RAIKEN will post it on his channel as well. That being said, if you're interested in Chris Green's offerings and his books, that will be down below as well. We'll make sure you get all the links in there, and we'll blast it on our social media channels and this and that. So be on the lookout for that kind of stuff. But basically, most of your good stuff is on Amazon, right? So if they want the book,
get the book on Amazon. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Okay. And if they just want a shortcut, they don't even want to wait for the damn show to be like a real show on my channel. If they just want to find it on Amazon, there's a search box. What do they type into the search box, Chris, to find you?
If you type the word arbitrage, you will find me. Not the Richard Gere movie. You'll find me, or type in Chris Green. I should be the #1 result in authors. It's got my picture. I'm easy to find.
Okay, so put Chris Green in Amazon or put arbitrage, and you'll find both the books there. So that's how you figure them out. And from there, we are good. Stay tuned for Green Room Hangout number 30 coming next week. We've got a great guest as well, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.